to Canada. This is a special edition of What's Going On with Bob Venne. You people are lucky enough in upstate New York to get to see a gentleman who's one of the most interesting people in North America, who every day, 24 hours of the day, does something interesting and something new, and a lot of it you get to see on this program. Today you're going to see Bob Venne visiting Canada and tracing his family roots into 4 little towns and counties close to the city of Montreal. We're going to take you around and show you the towns and how Bob traced his family tree. Hold on. Hi, my name's Don Wayne Patterson, and I'm the Canadian representative for Home Cable TV today, and we're in the Lower Laurentian area, in the province of Quebec, where we're going to go back and look at the farms and the cemeteries and areas where Bob Venne is going to trace his grandfather, who was born in the 1800s, his grandfather Joe Venne. We're going to take a look at Saint Jacques, where he was born. You know, when Bob and I travel around North America, we go around to a lot of garage sales and flea markets. We look for antiques and other collectibles. We do a lot of talking about old things, which leads up to tracing back history of your families to know your roots. And in doing that, we've discussed how to find out where it all started. What we did with Bob was we went back into the paperwork and found a little town called Saint Jacques, where his grandfather was born. And in every one of these little towns in Quebec, you usually see a great big church that sort of predominates within the city, and you see one there in the background. And of course, usually behind those churches you would find a cemetery where there would be stones from the relatives, and usually as well inside the churches you'd find a lot of paper records. And that's what we're going to look for today. We're also going to go and meet a gentleman, Mr. Venne, who maybe can give us some history of the Venne family in this area. Very similar to America, we have parishes throughout the province of Quebec. We also have counties. A lot of small towns are in counties, and this particular county is Montcalm County. Saint Jacques, and of course you see the main church in the background, and then we'll be going in the back and looking at the cemetery.
OK. Ouais. Puis après ça, on a commencé avec des affiches de Saint-Jacques quand on est arrivé. Là, on a commencé par le chemin Hamilton. Ouais. Là, on est venu par ici pour prendre des affiches. Après ça, des drapeaux québécois. Parce qu'ils veulent montrer ça des gens aux États-Unis.
On va vous donner le code de la paroisse. Bon, là, ça.
OK.
Les puchons.
Ah ouais? Ah ben c'est fun. Eugène Brault, comme ça j'ai appelé M. Brault.
206 Saint-Jacques.
Attends un petit peu. Euclide.
Leblanc.
Oui.
206 Saint-Jacques.
Saint-Jacques. À Saint-Jacques?
Oui. Je vais l'appeler tout à l'heure. 839 2159.
2156. Puis c'est elle qui fait les livres?
Oui, c'est elle qui est faite à Douane-Noël.
C'est le fun. Ben oui, c'est le fun à maudit, ça. All right, we've decided to come inside the church and take a shot. Certainly, you know, if you never gamble, you're never going to win. And we came in and became a winner instantly in meeting a gentleman who works here at the church and came up with, because he just happens to be a Venne, believe it or not. And we found some great pictures here of some of Bob Venne's relatives. And not only that, but 4 great books a lady here in Saint Jacques wrote and put together on burials and marriages in the area going way, way back. We're going to go see this lady and maybe get copies of these books. We're sitting in the church going through marriage records, burial records. It's amazing the amount of information that's available, all for free, for anybody looking to trace their roots. You just have to go out on the road and take a chance, which is what we did.
And this is Damien Venne.
That's right. We've got an amazing picture this gentleman had at home, Damien Venne, and it has a picture of his grandfather and his great-grandfather, a photo from 1870. It's a metal plate photo. And father, or in this case great-grandfather, Joseph, is the second gentleman from the left in the front. If we go to the top on the left, we have a young lady by the name of Elodie, who died in 1925. Then there's Brother Ulrich, who died in 1886, Arthur, who died in 1921, and then Joseph at the top right, and we're not sure when he passed away. If we go back to the first row, we've got Anna, who died in 1885. She married Amadee Miro, then again the father of all these children. Joseph died in 1904. Then we've got Gilbert and Azaric, and Azaric is of course the grandfather of Damien, who we're sitting here with today talking about the Venne family and tracing back. Interesting photo, and of course a lot of interesting information available here in the books.
And we're going to go into the church and see this beautiful church.
We're looking at some of the priests of the church going back as far as 1814. You've got 1819, you've got 1858, 1882, 1900, 1934, 1950, 1964, 69, and the present one started in 1983.
You talk about 3 times as fast as I move.
Mm-hmm.
Now my family left here about 1860s, so they didn't see this one, but right in here, I probably would have that on the baptismal records. Right in this period right here with my great-grandfather.
Qui est vieux, que tu connais, qui nous rencontrait, qui ne serait pas gêné de nous parler un peu de la famille Venne. Comme ça, il m'a déjà dit qui, mais j'ai oublié. Là, j'appelle encore aujourd'hui. Là,
If you're looking for a big and a beautiful church, feast your eyes on this edifice. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could move this to Champlain?
Absolutely gorgeous. What a beautiful, beautiful church.
And this is a typical church for the province of Quebec.
It was built when?
I believe the parish was built around, what was it, 1819? We just saw, wasn't it?
Oh, he said about 1907 or something.
Well, we just saw the priest
Okay.
from way back 1800s.
Yes, but it would be the same building, though.
You're right. 1854.
This building?
I think so.
Gorgeous. They have a screen up front. They must show pictures.
Videos.
If the priest isn't here on Sunday, they show a video of him. Gorgeous.
You're going to get...
Unreal. You're looking inside of St. Jacques Catholic Church. St. Jacques de Argegan, Lacheguet,
In the county of Montcalm.
about 35 miles northeast of Montreal, and my family first came here in 1650. I feel at home. Thanks to Mr. Patterson, who is my interpreter and my mentor here.
Huh? Okay.
What did he say?
He's going to even move the screen for you.
Look.
Watch it go up. Are you filming as it
Yes.
goes up? So you get a better view of the altar properly. He's going to take the screen up. It's amazing how friendly some people will be. Of course, it helps, I guess, when your name is Venne.
And because his name is Venne, he's automatically so helpful.
That's what I said.
Look at the balcony up above the church, the altar. Up in the balcony at part of the organ, and then take a while to get back the other part of the organ. And looking back to where we came in to the church.
You're looking at a lot of carved oak, which is very, very popular in churches in the province of Quebec. Some beautiful antique chairs there as well with needlepoint.
You'd wonder how many parishioners they have to have this size of a church. And these are the confessionals in the corner. All are very ornate and carved the small side altars, area proper, and giving you a view. You're not in a one of the biggest churches in Montreal, but you're in a beautiful, big church, beautiful church in Saint Jacques. And Saint Jacques is a very small community. And as we turn, we were up on the very first altar steps and looking out into the church proper.
Okay, they put words of songs on the screen.
Oh,
To sing
now
along.
who sits in all these bleachers?
Choirs,
Oh, the choir is here.
children's choir.
And what about up above?
The nuns.
The nuns up above?
The Sœurs de Sainte Anne?
Saint-Anne.
There used to be, the nuns of Sainte Anne used to live next door.
And who's
That's
it?
where they would come and sit.
Who lives there now?
C'est quoi maintenant?
C'est à cause ça. C'est un couvent de ressourcement.
It's a convent, juste les sœurs?
Oui, il y a des sœurs, il y a des sœurs.
Only nuns live next door, and it's a convent now. It's like a retreat. I guess maybe for the older.
So there's no more Catholic school in Saint Jacques.
Est-ce qu'il y a déjà une école dedans aussi? Non.
Oui, là, il y en a plus.
Mais il y a déjà eu l'école
Oh,
dedans?
oui, oui.
Used to be a school as well, yes.
Okay.
Là,
But there's still
rendu-
Catholic schools.
Là, c'est rendu un petit peu plus loin. Un institut Esther Blondin. Ça, c'est enseignement ménager
There's another institute now just down the road that now is for teaching.
de secondaire 1 à secondaire 5. C'est des bouts, là.
Back in the sacristy, look at the drawers here. Our priests from our area, look at this back wall in back of the church proper. And this is the paintings on the wall.
And make sure you see this, because this is a beautiful piece of antique furniture that we will never find in a garage sale.
Oh, we won't. The book in the church,
You sign the Golden Book
the Golden Book.
as an invited guest of the Venne.
300 years ago, his name was Voyne, V-O-Y-N-E, when he came over in 1650. And the man right here, Damien, is a long-distance cousin, about 3 or 4 generations back. And I'm going to put down here, Champlain, New York. Candle supporter holder, dated 1825. We're talking many years ago, folks, here in Saint Jacques. Also told us that before 1854, the whole area was known as the Saint Jacques, and everybody came to this one church. And then they kind of subdivided the overall large parish area to smaller parishes, and as a result, I had one of my great-grandfather's sisters who was born in the same house, I guess, where he was, but it turned out to be in St. Alexis, which just came within that subdivision, maybe 10 or so miles from here.
C'est vrai, c'est le nom, le sacristain.
Two Vennes walking down the two Vennes, newfound relations. Beautiful church.
Ben oui. This is Damien Venne's family, Joseph Venne. You notice it's V-E-I-N-E, one of the spellings. Joseph's father was Pierre. Is that right, Wayne?
Yes, and his wife was Adeline Lacaus.
Okay. Joseph's father, Pierre, was a brother of my great-grandfather, Venne, who was born here in this area. And there's Conrad Venne. You're in Venne territory now.
Ça, là, c'est Joseph, là. C'est lui, je te parlais. Bon. Sais-tu pourquoi que c'est le même? Les 4 frères Joseph, Arthur, Delphis, puis Gilbert.
In this direction are the families of two brothers who are the sons of Joseph then, and in the other way, two more of his brothers, his boys rather, and their sites are all on this side of the family Venn stone. And here's Damien with, well, it was Don Wayne Patterson, but he's
Looking for Solomon.
looking for Solomon.
Le fille de lui?
Ouais.
Fernando?
Non,
Solomon Venn, 1845-1921.
ça c'est le frère de Roger.
Ah oui? Ah bon,
Roger, il est sur le bord.
ok. Solomon Venn, 1845 to 1921.
C'est le garçon de Salomon.
And Louise Lord.
Yeah, of course, that's the son of Solomon.
Okay.
And on this side, you've also got another son, Adrian.
Now this Solomon was the son of Peter.
Solomon, c'était le garçon de
Salomon, c'est le garçon de Pierre.
Okay.
Pierre. This is where the Roger is.
Okay, that's the way we were going to go see this afternoon till we met
And his wife,
Damien
Bridget.
and his wife Bridget Parrot.
Yeah, so he's connected with Solomon as well.
Adrian.
Willie Venn and Betsy Forrest. Or
Ça,
Forest.
c'est les mêmes Venn. Stéphane Venn, ça dit quelque chose.
Ben oui, je suis dans la musique, moi.
Ça
J'ai
fait
pas
longtemps.
pensé à ça.
See, it's 4:39. We've been in Saint Jacques for a while, and there's Venn Avenue or Street, and we're on Monte Allard, and this is the main street in Saint Jacques. August the 16th, as we look down another one of the look
Venn
down
Street.
Venn Street right here. Very French.
You know, I've never seen anybody so happy to find names and places of relatives like Bob Venn has been today. And one of the things the gentleman at the church mentioned we might want to look for is a house that one of the Venns used to live in way back when. And this particular house is a 3-story brick house out in farm country, not far from Saint Jacques. And still in the glass on the front door are the initials of the Venn who used to live here. So we'll go up close to the door and take a look at those initials carved into the glass.
Yes, no.
Yeah, there we see it right up close. This was Solomon Venn who had his initials inscribed in here. One of his sons, Pierre, also lived here, Peter Venn. So this is the place we were able to find that has the Venn descendants. As we continue along our travels, another section of the family of the Venns was in another town called L'Assomption. So we're going to go into that small town, see if we can find a cemetery and some of the history of the Venns there.
It's about how far from Saint Jacques?
It'd be about 17 kilometers from Saint Jacques heading towards the Montreal area. That you're able to find in a cemetery. Unfortunately, when you want to go real back, way back to the early 1700s or even 1600s, most of the stones don't exist anymore because most of the time they just used a piece of wood or a wooden cross. But Bob has been able to find a lot of information in other places besides cemeteries. This is the one in L'Assomption where we were able to find an Alexander Venn. Maybe Bob can tell us some of the things you found on paper, Bob.
Well, what happened, I was up in St. John doing a report for video for the Clinton County historian Addie Shields, and I met a man by the name of Francois Lafreniere, who was a librarian at the Société d'Histoire de Richelieu, which is in St. John, and he offered to trace my family back, which I gave him my grandfather's name to the best of my knowledge and my great-grandmother, and he went back to 1645 in France when my first known Jean Voyne, V-O-Y-N-E, and it came over to Canada and settled right here in Saint Jacques and around L'Assomption, and over the years they all came from that one person, and there's been all kind of division since. And the man we met in the at the church, and this wind is really blowing up a storm right now. Then we met his great-great-grandfather was Peter, my great-great-grandfather was Solomon. They were brothers, so we were related from that point on. And I've got the information, and there's information around. In Canada, particularly, they have real good church records. If anybody's looking for any information, check with me, and if I don't know where you can go to get it, I'm sure I can refer you to Mr. Martin in West Shazy, and he certainly can help you. And right now we need a meteorologist because it's starting to rain. Thank you very much, Wayne Patterson, for helping me up here today, talking French to all my relatives that I can't talk to directly. And thank you for watching Hometown Cable. What's going on here? Bob Venne in L'Assomption, Quebec, checking for our heritage.